Hi, College and Career Success. Welcome back. This is our week 1 assignment video part 2. So if you have not already checked it out, go ahead and check out the week 1 assignment video part 1. It specifically just discusses the discussion forums that you have to complete for this week. This video is going to focus on all of the other assignments. So I'm going to go back into week 1 here, where you can see they give us a list of assignments, hopefully as soon as it loads. And I've already gone over the assignments that contain the discussion boards in them so that you do not have to worry about that in this video. You still need to have them completed. However, it is going to, well, my internet does not want to agree with that. So I'm just going to scroll right down to the week 1 assignments themselves. So in the last video, I already talked about the introduction discussion forum and the chapter 1 discussion forum. So now, and I know this is a lot, you have 6 other assignments. Again, I understand it's a lot, but we are taking, 16 weeks worth of work and putting it into 8 weeks. And so it's not more work, but it feels like it because of the way it's condensed. So all of the rest of the assignments I'm going to show you are due by Sunday. So we know that you have your discussion forums, your original responses are due by Wednesday in both of those, and you have to respond to 2 classmates in there, 4 responses total, by Sunday. So now I'm going to walk you through the other assignments. The first one is the Title IX training quiz. So with this particular assignment, it is an automatically graded assignment. This and the College Resources Digital Scavenger Hunt. By that I mean that Brightspace goes in and gets the score for me. I just have to go in and double check that you did it, and I write it on my own copy. Now, if you're not sure what Title IX is, if you scroll up just a little bit, under the materials folder, there is a Title IX PowerPoint, and I would even maybe recommend coming over here and hitting download so that you can have it. It'll download up here, and it'll open up into a PowerPoint so you can reference it if you would like to as you take this quiz. And so when you're ready, you'll pop into the Title IX training, and it is going to open up. It's going to be like a moving, talking slideshow. So you'll go through and you'll hit next.
This presentation is designed
talking to you.
Title IX of the objectives of Title IX. What is Title IX?
You will get to questions, and so you'll go through and you'll answer questions, and then on the very last slide, you'll just have to make sure that you hit submit all the way through. And then if you want to double check that Brightspace got it, you can go into your grades and double check that it recorded. It's not always like an immediate record, so you might want to go back in like an hour later and check it. So that's Title IX. The next one is the College Resources Digital Scavenger Hunt. And again, as I mentioned, this is also automatically graded by Brightspace. So this is going to walk you through different resources.
Stark State College. These resources are easy to Let's do a digital use the website to find out where the testing center is located.
The actual slides that have the questions on them. Excuse me, if you're not sure, you can come up here to the Stark State homepage, info for current students, and you can go through and take a look. Oh, we're talking about the testing center. There's the testing center. And you can kind of go based on that and see what information is there. You can also search for things in your My SSC if you needed to look up here for help desk, testing center, whatever the case is. So you'll go through those questions, and also in the very last slide, hit submit, and then Brightspace will record that grade for you. The next thing we're going to do is called the Handshake Job Assignments. In here, you first have to log in and create an account with Handshake. The easiest way I can tell you to do that is to come to the Stark State homepage, scroll down, go where it says Career Services, and there's Handshake right there. If you already have an account, great, go ahead and hit login. If not, just hit sign up, and you're going to use your Stark State email. I know it says .edu, you have a .net. That's okay. You're going to use your Stark State one just to keep everything consistent. And basically, Handshake is like LinkedIn, but geared toward college students. And so it has like internships and part-time and those type of things in there as well. So you're going to create this account, and all you have to do then for the assignment part of it is one of 2 things. You're going to search for let's say you are in dental, like dental hygiene program. You will search for a dental hygiene position, and maybe it is full-time, part-time, volunteer, internship, job shadowing, whatever comes up. And you're going to either copy and paste the link that you find that leads to that job, or option 2 is to like take a screenshot or snap it, like snip it off your screen and submit it that way. And you can put that into like a Word document, or you can put it in leave it as a JPEG, and you'll submit it in the Dropbox. I'm going to upload a separate video here just a little bit to show how to put things in Dropboxes, just so that you're aware of that process. But that's all you have to do for Handshake, is either copy and paste the link inside the comment area. You can do that in the comment area, or you can put it in a Word doc, whatever you want to do, or you can upload it as a screenshot or a screen snip, and you can see this is like what it looks like right there. So that's the Handshake job assignment. Again, all 3 of those are due Sunday. Now, if I keep on going, I have my Chapter 1 assignments. And as I said in the last video, to do this, make sure that you spend some time in the Chapter 1 text, the Chapter 1 slides, the Chapter 1 video, anything that's going to help you understand what's going on in Chapter 1. So here's my first thing, Chapter 1 assignment. This is something that you can put into a Word doc, or you can answer just in like the right submission area. Again, I will have a separate quick little video showing you all about that. So you're going to answer these questions based on where you are. If you are a traditional college student, meaning you already graduated high school, you're going to, it says complete the assignment from the perspective of when you were still in high school, or reflect on how you made these decisions when deciding on Stark State. So that might be an easier thing to do is, you know, as you were deciding on to go to Stark State, how did you decide that? Was it based on length of, you know, away from your home, the distance? Did you take into consideration going somewhere that you did need to drive far or possibly fly to? Are you interested in any extracurriculars, you know, clubs and organizations? If you weren't sure, you could go over here, info for. I'm blending a lot of my sounds together. So info for, and then we do have a whole list of student clubs here. You are welcome to take a look and see, like, maybe, maybe not. And that's okay if you're not interested, but there's a bunch that are specifically related to majors. And so that looks great on resumes if you wanted to take a look at that. Question 3 talks about the size of the institution. You know, did you prefer a smaller or larger student body, lower or higher student to teacher ratio? And then this one is create a list of top 5. Maybe you had a couple other options. You were looking at like Kent State or Akron or wherever, or if you were planning on transferring, where are you thinking of transferring to? Now, if you are a CCP student, meaning you're taking this during the summer and you haven't graduated college yet, or excuse me, haven't graduated high school yet, you're going to answer these questions as a high school student because that's what you are. So you'll answer these just a little differently based on where you are in your path. Then, and you will just, again, you can either put this in a file or you can just type it in a comment submission. Your next assignment is called the Chapter 1 assignment, and this is going to be something where you click on it and it's going to open up into a PDF that you can type right in. And this is going to be over the differences between high school and college. And so on the left-hand side, they have things that are stereotypically true of high school. On the right-hand side, you're going to type in how things could be different in college. You know, for instance, you know, bonus on extra work may be given to you to raise a low grade. That's not honestly as common in college. It still happens. So in here, you would say, you know, in college, this does not happen as much. Now, that's not saying it never happens. So you could put it varies based on the teacher, it varies based on the class, whatever you want to put up there. And that's what you will do on the right-hand side. Now remember, this is generalized. This is obviously not everyone's specific high school experience or everyone's specific college experience. It's just in general the differences between them. When you've filled out all of this column, you will come up here and hit save with your changes so that it is not uploading a very blank document to me. And you will just save it. I'll just save it as like Chapter 1. You'll come back in here and you all will have an ability to upload it into a Dropbox. Again, I will load a separate video just walking through that process. And then finally, you have your Chapter 1 quiz. This is going to open up a Word document. So you'll click on this. It's going to download into a Word document. All your quizzes are set up this exact same way. So you have 5 questions. They are all going to have a combination of, you know, like 1 or 2 sentences, and this one's a little lengthier. Some of them are shorter than others, but you are responding in 2 to 5 complete sentences. So again, the first week or so, I'm usually a little bit more lenient, but after that, if I start seeing that you are really not responding in 2 to 5 complete sentences, you will get some points taken off. So you want to make sure that you respond to everything. So the first question talks about, you know, motivation, maintaining motivation. What can you do to design a plan to remember your purpose? So if you feel like your motivation is lacking, what can you do to help you become motivated? Question 2 talks about navigating change and transitions. So how well have you managed past transitions? What went well? What could you have done differently? And how can you use that to transition to college? So you can think about academic transitions, like middle school to high school. You can think about personal transitions like single to married, whatever, and how you dealt with those. And then how can you use that knowledge as you are transitioning to college? Maybe it's from high school to college. Maybe it's from you've been in the workforce for a while and now you're getting back into school, whatever your situation might be. Question 3, if your first few grades were lower than expected, what could you do to kind of keep moving forward? And consider emotional, academic, intellectual areas. Chapter 1 talks about each of those areas if you need to go back and look. Question 4, this is kind of like your assignment, like the differences between high school and college. How would you evaluate if a student has successfully transitioned to college? What criteria would you use to see that, this student is doing really well, or, ooh, they're really struggling? And then finally, this talks about question 5, self-awareness. Why do you think it's important to be self-aware? How will you use the course material that is going to be taught in this class? Again, our course objectives are in our syllabus. You can look at the table of contents in the textbook to develop greater self-awareness. So once you're done with that, you will save it and also upload it into the Dropbox. All right, so I just want to make sure that we are okay with everything up until this point. In week 1, once again, you have, there we go, finally loaded. You have 2 discussion boards you need to post by Wednesday for your week 1 attendance. Respond to 2 classmates in each forum, so 4 responses total, by Sunday. Complete the Title IX quiz, digital scavenger hunt, handshake assignment, Chapter 1 assignment, Chapter 1 assignment, and Chapter 1 quiz, all by Sunday. Again, I know it's a lot. I really encourage students to log in every week on Monday, get a feel for what's going on, and then that way you can kind of pace yourself throughout the week. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Have a great week.